So our friend Jason Graves, friend of the show, guest star on the show, he put up a really great video that seems to be performing quite well, where he lives in Florida and he toured Florida, went to 104 Goodwills and went game hunting and came back with, whatever he came back with.
Bulletstorm limited edition. Only $4? Sure.
It was kind of like a grand game hunting experiment in the year 2024. We talked to him every day. I didn't know he was working on this Goodwill video. Did you?
I've heard him mention it, yes.
It's a pretty gripping video. At least it is for me. I like games. I like retail, He did a nice preamble where he was like, why Goodwill? Well, because Goodwills are everywhere. People know it. It's recognizable. It's kind of like a standard. And here, I'm just going to give you my reaction to the video because I think that he uncovered something really interesting. It's an hour and 10-minute video. He's walking in and out of every Goodwill with, I don't know, spyglasses or something. He's looking at every electronic section in every single one of these. Some of them have none. Some of them have a pretty good haul. There's a recurring joke that tons of them have Wii balance boards from Wii Fit, which became something of like a I don't know, like a weird like economic standard in this
marker for inflation or something.
Yeah. He was like, I think $10 is fair for a Wii balance board. And then he found I think $7 was the cheapest that he found it at.
Yeah. And if it's like $20, just don't bother with that Goodwill. It's like they're a scam. Exactly.
This has become like the barometer for how sane this Goodwill's pricing is. $20. Ugh.
Because part of it is you think of Goodwill as it's a thrift store, but it's kind of not. It's like their prices are more like Walmart. They're more like retail priced, but they're also not all made the same. Some of them seem to have completely different management. And so he comments on all of that. But because he's taking you through every single one at a time, slowly. I don't know about you. I felt like, he's not really buying anything. Seems like he's not finding anything good. I felt that way for half the video, probably. But I think just because there was just such a high quantity of stores that he just found nothing in, even though he does have a stats counter on the right the whole time, which is helpful.
Because I think it was really smart of him because the glasses, I think, films in portrait mode.
Yeah.
So it's not Lancer. So I think that the solution was to add stats on the side and stuff. And I think that would actually really help the video in a way. It's like a creative solution. It's like how video games would have to solve for issues with underpowered hardware.
Yeah, that was great. It was great. The stats are important because you do get lost in the sauce in a video like that. There's also a lot of stuff he was interested in that he put it back down. In particular, he seems to have an affinity for portable televisions.
Yeah, there was one that was part flashlight, part TV, but he didn't get it because it didn't have any inputs, which is, you wouldn't want to do that.
Because he wanted to connect an SNES to the flashlight TV, which would be really fucking cool.
I saw this karaoke machine and instantly thought, hey, can I plug my Super Nintendo into this?
So he's putting stuff back down. He's being pretty discerning, I think. I don't think he was walking around just buying things willy-nilly. Although, actually, yes, that's exactly what he did. But I felt like he was staying within everything he was looking through the lens of budget. These should all be budget pickups. A lot of Madden, a lot of sports games. He's not allergic to sports games either. And I think
which is amazing. That's probably the most surprising thing of the whole video. I did learn that there's actually rugby games. I didn't even know there was rugby games in America.
So, of course, he does the thing you got to do at the end of an experiment like this. And again, this took him 2 days. He drove all over Florida. Florida's not a small state, per se. He stayed in hotels, He really did it. He took this assignment seriously.
That's not a typo. That's not misleading. I really did go to 104 different Goodwills.
And so he takes everything he bought and he puts it on the table and he names each game one by one. And you start to see it grow and you're like, holy shit, he did come back with a lot of games from those 104 Goodwills.
Yeah.
It's this is a big haul. And he rounded to the nearest dollar so that he's not dealing with change. And it somehow came out to exactly $500, which is remarkable. So he goes, so is all this worth $500? Probably not.
I mean, does this look like $500 worth of stuff? I don't think so. I mean, If this were on eBay for $500, I would not buy it.
Your impression of Jason has gotten better.
Yeah?
It's I'm gonna upgrade it from the discount Sega Lord X. It's gonna be it's gonna B- Jason now. I think you've been studying, so.
Well, I did watch his whole fucking Goodwill video twice. As a matter of fact, I went back. I was like, I need to stare at this a little closer. He called it a Junt's Cart ripoff, and in the reflection of some of the glass, you can see Junt's Cart shirt. So truly, we're becoming a YouTube community together.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing. So then he goes, well, and also, by the way, there was gas and there was hotels, and so there's many hundreds of dollars additional to the 500. He took the words right out of my mouth. As soon as he said, like, hey, I paid $500 for the thing you're looking at, my mind went straight to eBay lot. They sell big, giant eBay lots full of gaming, or a Facebook Marketplace, like, hey, buy my entire childhood collection for $500 or something. This kind of looked like a childhood collection, but it wasn't nearly as good as a childhood collection.
Yeah. Because a childhood collection would have like a good game in there. There'd be like a Final Fantasy VI or something like sprinkled in there, but you're not going to find Final Fantasy VI at a Goodwill because
Star Fox 64. He didn't have anything like that.
No, you would have something you would actually want to play.
Yeah.
What Goodwill does is they take those kind of retro games and they put them online. They have like a eBay-like service. I think it's called Goodwill Finds or something.
Yeah, see, they're not truly a thrift store, right?
Yeah, they're a little more savvy, yeah.
Yeah, they're not a flea market.
Oh, it worked.
Wow.
I shot the duck.
New version that works.
I shot the duck.
Now, granted, nobody is game bargain hunting in bulk, right?
Yes.
I think it's more like you stop into these places to see if there's ever any good finds. He did buy 2 Wiis, and I think both of them were $30, right? About. So that was probably one of his better gets, was the Wiis.
Yeah, the Wiis are nice. Yeah, if you soft mod a Wii, you can do a lot with it.
Yeah, but nevertheless, it kind of like revealed to me, the fallacy of bargain hunting for games at this point, because he was rarely ever finding anything that wasn't eBay price. Because you think you walk away from these stores with these finds, but in reality, online's the way to go. And not to mention, like, I think the other problem here's the real like fallacious market thinking. By bargain hunting, you end up buying things that you didn't intend to buy. And whenever you find yourself in a habit of buying things that you didn't intend to buy, you're wasting money. You're not saving it, right? So
yes,
it would make more sense to be deliberate in all of your purchases. If you could somehow, be perfect with your finances or something, which is not entirely the point. But if you could be deliberate with all of your purchases and buy things when you actually want them and plan to use them. You're like, hey, I need a CD player because I'm going to be playing CDs this summer. Then it's like, well, if you spent an extra $10 on the CD player, then you could have, if you had bargain hunted a little more. Who cares? Because value is completely derived from the actual usage of the thing. If you buy $500 worth of crap and it all sits, all you did was dump money down the drain.
Yeah, and don't go to Goodwills. You go to like either like really off the wall thrift stores or flea markets or tag sales. Don't go to garage sales. Don't go to Goodwill. They send all their retro game stuff to their eBay service.
But truthfully, where do you go? I mean, like the flea market's no better. Yard sales are no better.
I mean, honestly, if you're looking for something super specific, just buy it off eBay for the price.
Yeah. Again, it's like if you decide one day, you're like, you know what, motherfucker? I want to own Turtles in Time on the SNES. And it's like, just go buy it then. Like you've decided you want it, go buy it.
Yeah, and there's a retro game store in the mall, and recently I went there and I bought WarioWare Smooth Moves for the Wii, and it was market price. But the thing is, God damn it, they had it. So
you wanted it and you played it, right?
Yes. I'm making my Wii video and I needed it.
Oh, you're making the Wii video.
Of course, yeah. That's what I've been mostly working on right now, is capturing footage and writing for that.
Man, that's exciting. We got to do, Jason's been recommending to me that I upload entire seasons of Junt's Cart because he's like, it's just free ad revenue because people will just play it. Maybe after you do the Wii one, you could do like all of the Nintendo consoles in one giant video.
Yeah, or at least part 1 because there's more.
Or release, I think one of them was on Red Cow and then one of them was on Arcade. You could just release the big one on Red Cow Arcade,
That is very true.
Get another bite at the apple, the ad revenue apple. On the topic of ad revenue and content creation, all of that, you know, I'm watching Jason's thing and I'm thinking like Jason's in school right now, right? And so, yeah, $500 to drop on this is kind of a lot. But he's got a Patreon and maybe they cover some of that for content.
Yeah.
His whole thing was like, you know, I wouldn't normally do this, but it made a great video, which is true. And it made me think, I think it would be a great feature of Patreon in particular, especially if it wants to continue to be relevant and edge out like YouTube memberships. Because YouTube memberships, it feels like it's really picking up steam now that James is making all of those emojis available.
Oh, of course, yes. People are dying. They're chomping at the bit.
No, but I am getting the impression that like more and more people are doing members, you know?
Yeah, there's so many YouTube channels like they talk about members and they're like gifting memberships, and I'm old, so I just let those comments just wash over me. And but now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, a lot of people are doing that.
And I think I said it before. I was like, you kind of, I think you got to kind of, for your audience's sake, you should pick one or the other. But I was thinking when, you know, so you've got the Patreon subscription model, you know, if you give me $5 a month, you get X, Y, and Z. If you give me $10 a month, you get A, B, and C. And then you have Indiegogo, GoFundMe, Kickstarter, which is like, here's one project. And like, when we get to our goal, then I'll be able to make my thing and you'll have been an investor and we'll give you some perks, you know, but it's like more of a one-time shot. What if there could be like GoFundMe style campaigns that exist within your subscription based Patreon? So imagine, let's take Jason as the example. Imagine he's got 50 $5 people. He's got 10 $10 people, whatever, right? He's got a few dozen. Wouldn't it be cool if he could say like, hey, I'm working on a special video that's going to be bigger and, you know, than our routine stuff, but it's also going to be more expensive. I'm going to need about $1,000, you know, because I'm going to be doing a lot of travel and I'm going to be buying a bunch of video games.
And so it's for content.
Yeah. I'll be tagging them for my LLC and I'll distribute them to all of you at the end or something. But what if you were able to say directly to his subscribers, like, hey, if we get to $500, I'll make this video. And you could kind of run these micro campaigns as you go along with your fan base. This could also be something that people who don't want to commit to the monthly fee could contribute to as well. Or, you know, you do polls on Patreon, right? You're like, hey, do you want me to do the Goodwill video or do you want me to do the whatever video? And like, this one could cost $500. This one would cost $200. Like, which one do you guys want to see? Vote on it and then have a campaign to finance it, right? I think that would be great. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that'd be cool if there was like kind of mini pledges, almost like, you know, maybe Kickstarter, but you could put it in that ecosystem.
Yeah, it's just like baked into that current ecosystem so that you're not like being like, hey, everybody, like, I know I have a Patreon, but come on over to Kickstarter. You know?
Yeah.
It could just be something that, like, a way for, especially, like, if you have $2 patrons like we do, like, we give away most of our perks through the $2 tier because we're underachievers. And, you know, it would be cool, though, to occasionally be like, hey, we want to do this thing we want to do a tour of Vermont or something. Like, do you want to finance it? Anyway. Great video for Jason. Go check it out.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You can just have it on in the background.
It's if you need an hour and 10 minutes to go away, he'll do it for you.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.